The missiles don't announce themselves. The power doesn't flicker before it dies. And the government isn't going to call you personally and tell you what to do next. World War III doesn't start with a declaration. It starts with a notification on your phone that you almost scroll past. Then the signal drops. Then the lights go out. And suddenly 48 hours stand between you and everything that comes after. Most people will spend those hours panicking, freezing, or waiting for someone to save them. This is not for those people. This is for the ones who decide to think first. The first hour is the most dangerous, not because of bombs or soldiers, but because of you. Your brain, flooded with adrenaline, will want to run, call everyone you know, scroll every news channel, and make 10 decisions at once. Don't. That panic is the first thing that kills people in a crisis, not the crisis itself. The moment you confirm something is wrong, you do 5 things and you do them in order. You stop moving. You breathe. You account for everyone physically with you, family, roommates, whoever is in that room right now. Then you close and lock every door and window. Not because it stops missiles, but because it buys you time and keeps out the chaos that forms in the streets faster than most people expect. Finally, you grab your phone and switch it to airplane mode. Save the battery. You have no idea when the grid goes down permanently and you cannot afford to find out the hard way. The first hour is not about solving the problem. It is about not making it worse. Panic is a luxury you cannot afford. Clarity is the only weapon that actually matters right now. Within minutes, your phone will be flooded with information. Videos, voice notes, breaking news alerts, forwards from people who got it from someone who got it from someone else, all of it arriving at once, all of it claiming to be the truth. Most of it will be wrong. Some of it will be deliberately false. And your brain, already running on fear, will reach for the worst version of everything it reads because that is what frightened brains do. So here is the only rule that matters. Trust nothing you cannot verify through 2 official sources. Government emergency broadcasts, national radio, civil defense channels. That is your filter. Everything else is noise wearing the costume of news. Switch off social media completely. Not because the truth never appears there, sometimes it does, but because lies travel faster, hit harder, and cost you time you simply do not have. Every minute spent chasing a rumor is a minute stolen from preparation. Information in a crisis is a weapon, and the wrong information believed at the wrong moment will send you running into the street exactly when you should be standing still. Guard what enters your mind as carefully as you guard what enters your home. Here is something most people never think about until the moment it is already too late. In the first few hours of any large-scale conflict, water infrastructure becomes a priority target. Pumping stations go offline. Treatment facilities shut down. Pipes lose pressure and do not recover quickly. The water you used without thinking this morning becomes the most valuable thing on earth before tonight arrives. So before you think about food, before you think about weapons, before you think about where to go, you fill everything with water. Bathtubs, pots, bottles, buckets, Ziploc bags, every container you own. You do it immediately because once pressure drops it rarely comes back fast. The human body survives 3 weeks without food. It does not survive 3 days without water. And in a conflict zone, locating clean water after infrastructure collapses is not a side problem. It is the central problem around which everything else orbits. Boil whatever you collect if any heat source is available. If boiling is not possible, purification tablets become worth more than almost anything else in those first 48 hours. Water is not a comfort item. Water is a countdown. And that countdown began the moment the lights went out. Every instinct you have will scream at you to move. Get out. Find somewhere safer. Reach family across the city. Drive to the countryside. Go anywhere that isn't here. And that instinct, followed blindly, will get you killed. Roads transform into the most dangerous places on Earth within the first 48 hours of a major conflict. Panicking crowds, abandoned vehicles blocking every lane, confused and trigger-ready soldiers at checkpoints, and people who have already quietly decided the old rules no longer apply, all of them converge on the same roads at the same time. What looks like an escape route on a map becomes a paralyzed mass of desperate people within hours. The evidence from every modern conflict points in the same direction. Civilians who sheltered in place during the initial chaos survived at significantly higher rates than those who fled without a clear plan or destination. Movement is a gamble. Staying is a strategy. You move only when remaining becomes more dangerous than leaving, when there is active fire, structural collapse, flooding, or an official evacuation order from a source you genuinely trust. Until that moment arrives, you stay, you conserve your energy, and you let the picture become clearer before you act. Running blind is not survival. It is simply dying somewhere less familiar. If you are staying, and in most cases you should be, then your home stops being a place you live and starts being a position you hold. Not with weapons necessarily, but with intelligence, discipline, and deliberate preparation. The first thing you do is identify the safest room. Lowest floor, fewest windows, interior walls on every side. In a conflict, glass and exterior walls stop being boundaries and start being liabilities. Blast pressure, shrapnel, and debris travel in straight lines and they do not slow down for drywall. Put as many solid walls between you and the outside world as you possibly can and stay there. Cover every window with whatever thick material you have. Heavy curtains, mattresses pushed against the glass, blankets, taped layers of cardboard. This is not only about blast protection, it is about light discipline. A lit window at night is an advertisement broadcasting your exact location to everyone moving through the dark outside. You do not want to be interesting. You do not want to be visible. You want your home to look empty, abandoned, not worth the effort. That appearance alone can keep you safer than almost any physical barrier. Turn off your gas at the main valve before you settle in. A cracked or damaged gas line during active conflict does not make noise. It does not smell obvious at first. It simply fills your home quietly and patiently until something provides the single spark it needs. Do not give it that opportunity. Keep noise low, lights minimal, and movement near windows non-existent. Your home becomes a fortress only when nobody outside knows you are inside it. Invisibility is armor. Silence is not weakness. It is a deliberate and intelligent strategy. Bombs are predictable. Physics is predictable. People are not. In the first 48 hours, human behavior splits into two directions with almost nothing in between. Some people become the best version of themselves, calm, generous, organized, looking out for strangers without being asked. Others decide within hours that the structure holding civilization together has dissolved and they begin acting on that conclusion immediately. Your survival will depend significantly on your ability to read which type of person is standing in front of you before that person has fully revealed themselves. Your neighbors are simultaneously your greatest potential asset and your greatest potential threat. A small, trusted group of people sharing resources, rotating watch duties, pooling information, and making decisions together will always outlast any single individual no matter how well stocked that individual happens to be. Isolation feels like safety, but it is actually fragility wearing a confident face. Community, built carefully and selectively, is the most durable survival structure available to a civilian in a crisis. But the word carefully matters more than any other word in that sentence. Be deliberate about who enters your circle. Be even more deliberate about who enters your home. Desperation is a force that reshapes people in ways that feel unthinkable during ordinary life and feel inevitable once you are watching it happen in real time. Do not advertise what you have. Do not mention your water supply, your food reserves, your plans, or your timeline to anyone outside your trusted group. Generosity is not the enemy. Broadcasting your resources openly in a crisis is an invitation that will eventually be accepted by someone you did not intend to invite. People rescued people in every conflict recorded in human history. People also destroyed people in every one of those same conflicts. The difference between the two was rarely obvious at first glance. Read carefully. Trust slowly. Protect quietly. The 48 hours will end. They always do. The noise eventually settles. The immediate chaos finds its shape, and the picture that was completely unreadable in the first hour begins to clarify. What matters when that moment arrives is that you are still thinking, still breathing, still capable of being useful to the people who need you to be functional. You did not wait for someone to arrive and hand you a plan. You filled the water before the pressure dropped. You cut the noise and trusted only what you could verify. You stayed when every nerve in your body was screaming at you to run. You made your home dark, quiet, and invisible. You read the people around you with patience instead of desperation. None of that happened by accident. Every one of those decisions was made in a moment when the easier choice was available and you chose the harder one anyway. That is not luck. That is not instinct. That is what preparation looks like when it is actually tested against something real. The world does not issue warnings before it breaks. It does not give you a grace period or a practice run. It simply breaks, and in that moment the only thing standing between you and the chaos is the quality of the decisions you make in the first hour. But you already made them. You thought when thinking was hard. You stayed still when movement felt safer. You protected what mattered without announcing it to everyone around you. And when the 48 hours finally pass and the longest night of your life gives way to something resembling morning, it was not luck that got you there. It was every quiet, deliberate, unglamorous decision you made when panic was the easier option. You were ready, and that made all the difference.